They say every legend has a beginning. But what they don't tell you is that most legends are born in blood. This is not the story you know. This is the story before the story. Before the name John Wick became a whisper that made killers check under their beds. Before the Baba Yaga. Before the impossible task. This is the night it all began. New York City, 1999. The Continental Hotel stands like a cathedral in the neon glow of Midtown Manhattan. Inside, the world's most dangerous people sip cocktails and conduct business with the civility of Wall Street brokers. Out here, the rules are simple. Blood for blood, but never on continental grounds. And in room 818, a young man sits in silence. His name is Jardani Jovanovic. But the underworld knows him by another name. Jonathan. He's 24. Dark hair, darker eyes. The kind of man who looks like he's seen too much, too young. On the table before him, a Glock 26 freshly cleaned. A photo of a woman with kind eyes. A half-empty bottle of vodka he hasn't touched in 3 hours. He stares at the rain streaking down the window, his reflection fractured in the glass. You ever wonder, he says quietly to the empty room, if the devil keeps a ledger? No one answers. No one ever does. 3 days ago, Jonathan completed his 18th contract for the Tarasov crime family. Clean, efficient, no witnesses. Vigo Tarasov himself called it a work of art. But Jonathan doesn't paint for applause. He paints because the director taught him one lesson above all others. Survive. But survival has a cost. And tonight that cost comes due. His phone rings. Once. Twice. He doesn't move. On the third ring, he answers. Da. The voice on the other end is smooth, Russian, dripping with false warmth. Jonathan, my boy, I have a gift for you. Vigo Tarasov. The Pakhan, the king. I don't want gifts, Jonathan says. Ah, but this one, you will like. Come to the Red Circle, midnight. Wear something nice. Tonight we celebrate your future. The line goes dead. Jonathan sets the phone down slowly. His hand doesn't shake. It hasn't shaken in years, but inside something tells him this is the night everything changes. The Red Circle nightclub pulses with life. Strobe lights, bass that rattles your ribs, bodies moving like a single writhing organism. It's owned by the Tarasovs like half of New York's underworld real estate. Jonathan enters through the back. Black suit, white shirt, no tie. He looks like death in designer clothes. The bouncers nod. They know him. Everyone knows him. The boy from Belarus who became Vigo's best weapon. The orphan turned executioner. In a private room above the chaos, Vigo waits. 60 years old, built like a bear with eyes that have watched empires rise and fall. Beside him sits his son, Iosef, 22, arrogant, hungry for respect he hasn't earned. And across from them, a woman. Jonathan stops in the doorway. She's beautiful, not in the obvious way. In the way a knife is beautiful, elegant, dangerous, purposeful, black dress, red lips, eyes that hold secrets. Jonathan! Vigo spreads his arms like a proud father. Come, sit, meet Persephone. The woman smiles, but it doesn't reach her eyes. Persephone, Vigo continues, is a rare flower in our garden. Former MI6, burned by her own people. Now she works for those who appreciate talent. Jonathan sits slowly. Why am I here? He asks. Straight to business, I love this about you. Vigo pours vodka into 3 glasses. You have served me well, Jonathan. 18 contracts, 18 perfect executions. You have earned your freedom. Jonathan's expression doesn't change, but something flickers behind his eyes. There is no freedom, he says quietly. Ah, but there is. Vigo slides a folder across the table. One last job. Do this and I release you from your oath. You walk away. Clean slate. New life. Jonathan doesn't touch the folder. What's the job? Vigo smiles. It's the smile of a shark. A high-table adjudicator has become problematic. He knows too much. Threatens to expose our operations. Normally we would handle this internally, but this man... Vigo taps the folder. This man has protection. Cameras. Security guards who would die for him. You need it to look like an accident, Jonathan says. I need it to be impossible. Vigo leans forward. And you, my boy, you do the impossible. Silence. Outside, the bass thuds like a heartbeat. Jonathan opens the folder and inside, photos, documents, schedules, then a name, Marcus. The room tilts. Marcus, the man who pulled Jonathan from the rubble in Minsk when he was 14, who taught him how to shoot, how to survive, how to live in a world that wanted him dead. The closest thing to a father Jonathan has ever known. No, Jonathan whispers. Vigo's smile vanishes. Excuse me? I said no. Iosef laughs, a cruel barking sound. You don't say no to the Pakan, orphan. Jonathan's eyes snap to Iosef. The younger Tarasov shuts up. Marcus is under my protection, Jonathan says, his voice like gravel. He's off limits. Vigo leans back, fingers steepled. I am disappointed, Jonathan. I thought you understood how this works. Loyalty, obligation, debt. He pauses. The director gave you to me when you were 16. 8 years of training, feeding, housing. 8 years of investment. You think you can just walk away? I said you would earn your freedom. But freedom, Jonathan. Freedom is never free. Persephone speaks for the first time. Her voice is silk over steel. He won't do it, Vigo. You're asking him to kill his conscience. Vigo's eyes narrow. Then perhaps we need to renegotiate. He snaps his fingers. 2 guards drag someone into the room, and it's Marcus, beaten, bloodied, but alive. Jonathan surges to his feet, hand moving toward his gun, and freezes. 12 red laser dots appear on Marcus's chest. Sit. Down. Vigo's voice is ice. Jonathan sits. His knuckles are white. Marcus looks at him through swollen eyes. Don't, Marcus rasps. Whatever he wants. Don't. Vigo stands, walking slowly around the table like a professor delivering a lecture. Here is your choice, Jonathan. You kill Marcus. Clean. Painless. 1 bullet, and you walk free, or ... quote. He gestures to the guards. My men take him to a basement in Brooklyn, and they take their time, days, maybe weeks, and when they're done, I send you pieces of him, starting with his fingers. The room is a tomb. Jonathan stares at Marcus. Marcus stares back. And in that moment, something breaks inside Jonathan. Something that has been cracking for 8 years finally shatters. There's a third option, Jonathan says quietly. Vigo raises an eyebrow. Oh? Jonathan moves. It happens faster than thought. The Glock clears his holster. 2 shots, both guards drop, red dots vanishing. He pivots, firing through the window. Snipers outside scream as glass explodes inward. Iosef lunges. Jonathan sidesteps, drives an elbow into his throat. The younger Tarasov collapses, gasping. 5 seconds, 7 bodies. Jonathan aims at Vigo. The Pakan doesn't move, doesn't blink. You have just declared war, Vigo says softly. On the entire Tarasov family. I know. They will hunt you. To the ends of the earth. I know. And when they find you, they will make you beg for death. Jonathan's hand is steady. The gun doesn't waver. Then they'd better bring an army. Marcus staggers to his feet, blood dripping. John, we need to go. Now. But Jonathan doesn't move. He stares at Vigo. You taught me one thing, Jonathan says. In this world, there are only 2 types of people. The ones who take and the ones who refuse to be taken. He lowers the gun. I'm done being your weapon. They leave. Behind them, Vigo sits in the wreckage, surrounded by bodies, and slowly, he begins to laugh. 1 week later, the Continental, room 818. Jonathan packs light. 1 bag, cash, passports, the Glock, and the photo of the woman with kind eyes. Marcus sits by the window, bandaged but healing. They're calling you the boogeyman now, Marcus says. Baba Yaga. The one you send to kill the boogeyman. Ridiculous. You killed 18 men that night, walked through the red circle like death incarnate. The stories are already legends. Jonathan zips the bag. Where will you go? Marcus asks. Somewhere quiet. There is no quiet. Not anymore. Vigo has put a $2 million bounty on your head. Every killer from here to Moscow is hunting you. Let them come. Marcus stands, wincing. John, what you did... What I didn't do, Jonathan interrupts. I didn't kill you. And I won't apologize for that. Silence. Marcus pulls something from his pocket. A coin, gold, embossed with a crest. Take it, he says. It's my last marker. If you ever need help, cash it in. Jonathan looks at the coin, then at Marcus. Why? Because you chose mercy over survival. In this world, that makes you either a fool, Marcus smiles faintly, or something more dangerous than any of us. They shake hands, and Jonathan walks out of room 818 for the last time. They say every legend has a beginning. But they're wrong. Legends don't begin, they're forged in fire and blood, in the choices we make when mercy and survival collide. That night, Jonathan became something else, something the underworld would fear for decades to come. Not because he was the best killer, but because he was the killer who remembered what it meant to be human. Years later, he would meet a woman, fall in love, walk away from it all. And when they took her from him, the boogeyman would return. But that's another story. This is the night John Wick learned the most dangerous thing in the world isn't a man with nothing to lose. It's a man who remembers what he's already lost and refuses to lose again.